So guys, can you see this board?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to ask from last lecture? So we are going to start next unit. Magneto static. So obviously, I mean, like electrostatic, magnetic field, due to no static actually means like static current, but static current is not a right word because when you are talking about current, something is moving, the charges are moving. The more appropriate word is steady current. So when we talk about magnetostatic, we are talking about two things: magnetic field and steady current. So magnetic field is, I mean, the first observation of magnetic field was something like this. If you pass some current from a wire, let us say this is a current carrying wire, okay? Or let us say we have two current carrying wire. Now there are electrons and the charged nuclei which have positive charge. There are electrons as well as charged nuclei on this wire. This wire W1 and this wire W2 both are electrically neutral. Why? Number of negative charges and number of positive charges are same in both wires. So if you want to see any electric field at this point, that will be zero. I mean, if you put some charge here, let us say you put some test charge Q here, there is no force on this field. But when you pass the current in these two wires, they apply force on each other. Now this is something which you cannot explain using electric field because there is no net charge. If you take this small piece of the wire, there are charges, right? But number of negative charges and number of positive charges are same. So this piece of wire cannot exert any force on any other electron. So why are they applying force on each other? And if you revert the direction of current, let us say in wire 1, this is the direction of current, in wire 2, this is the direction of current, then they repel each other. So there is something, some sort of force is there which cannot be explained using electric field, and that's where the idea of magnetic field come. So the concept is, I mean, you already know that a current carrying wire generates a magnetic field, and so let us say this is wire 1, it generates a field. And in a magnetic field, if you place a moving charge, that will experience some force. So like in W2, there are moving charges, and these moving charges, due to this magnetic field, get some force, and that force, you already know the name, called Lorentz force. Okay. So this was the starting point of the magnetic field. I mean, that's how scientists get to know that apart from electric field, there is something else in the universe that is due to the moving charges. and they name it magnetic field. How do we calculate it? If I would say what law, I think T is there. Yes. SAVRT. Okay. So what does Wyatt-Savart law say? That magnetic field due to let us say we have some small piece of wire of length, let us say delta L, and I want to know magnetic field at this point P, then it is given by current is I. So let me write in a vector notation. So delta L vector means the length of wire, and the vector actually the direction of current cross. This is the vector from this wire to this point P. Let me call it vector R. R cap upon R square. So this is a magnetic field for any small piece of current carrying thing. And we can generalize this formula to large cases. I mean, we just have to integrate over the delta L part, and we can calculate the magnetic field even for the complicated cases. So what are the things that we have here? Current is there. This delta L is there. Okay. Mu naught is a constant. What is it called? Permeability of free space is equal to how much? 4 pi into 10 to the minus 7. Find out the unit. So this is that you have already learned in your 10 plus 2. Now we are going to revise all these things in a short time. So let us pick this thing first, the easiest one. So what is current? Anyone? Let us say this is a wire.
Flow of charge.
Let us say this is a wire.
Flow of charge.
So electrons are, let me assume that plus charge is moving, although we always know that so if more charge is moving, more is current. If charge is moving at a high velocity, then also current increases. So current is given by I is equal to charge crossing a cross-sectional area per second. Let us say this is a wire and charge is moving in this direction. Take a cross-sectional area. Let us say this is the cross-sectional area. Cross-sectional means perpendicular to the direction of the movement of charge. Let us say this area is A. Okay. And all these charges are moving with a velocity v. Then how much charge will pass through this surface in 1 second. So how do we calculate that number? If all the charges, let us say, are moving with this velocity v, let me make a virtual cylinder of this shape. Okay. And the length of this cylinder is also v. So you can see that all the charges which are inside this cylinder, they will cross this surface in 1 second. Why? Because charge is traveling v meter in 1 second. So the charge, all the charges are at a distance of less than v meter, and obviously they will cross this surface in 1 second. The charges which are outside the cylinder, they will not be able to cross the surface because they will travel v meter, and obviously they will come near to the surface, but they won't be able to pass through it. And how many charges are there in the cylinder? इस सिलेंडर में कितने charges हैं? Volume of cylinder into charge density, right? Means how much is the volume? Volume is cross sectional surface area A into length is V. What is charge density? Charge per unit volume. Let us say there are n electrons in a unit volume. Then how much is the charge in unit volume? Ne. Okay. So this is the current through a wire. This is the current in a wire when its cross-sectional area is A. So if you increase A, obviously current will increase, and that is why you have seen that the power lines which carry high amount of current, they are very thick, right? And the wires which carry a minimal amount of current, the wires are kept quite thin so that they can, I mean, they don't have to carry so much electrons, so a thin wire is also sufficient. Related to current, there is one more quantity. Current density. And we define current density by the symbol vector J. What is current density?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, in the previous, sir, एक मिनट scroll कर देंगे.
Yes.
Sir, here charge density equals to the amount of charge in this cylinder, right?
Charge density means, so density means something in a unit volume. Now charge density means charge in a unit volume. So I am saying, yes.
Yes, yes.
So here I am saying that in unit volume there are n electrons. So how much is the charge? N into E.
Okay, sir.
Now current density is, so current density is current. Now it is not per unit volume. Per unit cross sectional area means or let me all right, leave it as it is. So earlier we define that, let us say this is a wire and it has some cross-sectional area and some electrons are passing through it, and that defines the current. If you increase the area, current will also increase. That's why we define this quantity current density. What it say? Calculate the total current, calculate the area through which this current is passing, and just calculate how much current is passing through the unit cross-sectional area. This means J is equal to I upon A, okay, or I is equal to J into A. Now let me write this definition in an elegant style. So let me draw some wire. This is a wire of some cross-section area A. Current is passing. Let us say this area is perpendicular to the flow of current, and the the magnitude of this cross-sectional area is A. Okay, and the total current is I. So here we know I is equal to J into A. Okay, but if I choose a surface area like this, and obviously now it will change because I have cut the wire along some arbitrary direction, and let us say this area is S, and the surface vector, earlier surface vector was in the direction of current. This was the area vector, right? Now area vector is like this. Okay, how do I write current in terms of J and S now? So this is the direction of current and this is S. So I want to write I in terms of J and S. Any suggestion?
Then we are taking the projection of S.
Right. So we have to keep the projection of S perpendicular to the current. So I is equal to what? J into let me remove this. So I need to get this cross sectional area, I mean A, but A मुझे इस बार S से calculate करना है, right? So I need to know the angle between this horizontal vector, ये तो I के parallel है, and this vector. Let us say this angle is theta. Then what is my answer? J into S into
Cos theta.
cos theta, right? What is cos theta? Cos theta is this is vector, let us say this horizontal vector I can write unit vector J because it is in the direction of current, and the unit vector in this direction I can write unit vector S cap. And what is cos theta now? Cos theta is J cap dot S cap. Agree? यदि एक यूनिट वेक्टर A cap है, एक यूनिट वेक्टर B cap है, what is the angle between these two? A cap dot B cap is magnitude of A, magnitude of B, cos theta. Since it is unit vector, A and B are 1, cos theta is equal to just the dot product of unit vectors. Same is here. I am just taking unit vectors in both directions, and that's how I define cos theta. So this becomes J, S, and this quantity is unit vector j dot unit vector s, or in simple words, I is equal to j times j vector become complete vector j dot s times s vector becomes complete vector s. Okay, so this is always true. Now you take any surface, it is not necessary to be perpendicular. अब जरूरी नहीं कि perpendicular हो. In case it is perpendicular, both the directions are same, it becomes simple product. If it is not perpendicular, take the dot product. So this is the connection between current and current density. Okay, any doubt here? Okay. Now, what is the purpose of defining current density? This. I mean, usually what we have, let us say we have a wire. Okay. And we have the same amount of current density almost everywhere. Whatever is the charge density here, we have the same charge density here. We have the same charge density here. I mean, the environment is same everywhere. And therefore, J is like a constant. But in general, that may not be true. हो सकता है कि depending on the material, let us say their charge density is low, here charge density is high, and different regions will have different capacity of carrying current. In that case, how do I calculate the total current? I will have to calculate current in small pieces. Let us say in this much length of the wire, in this much length of the wire, in this much, okay, and then take the sum.
Integrate.
I is equal to what? Take current density everywhere, multiply it with the corresponding small cross-sectional area, and then do it integrated over the whole surface, whole cross-sectional surface. Okay, so this is a more general expression of current when you have non-uniform things. Non-uniform things means if rho is not constant, I mean this n is not constant, charge density यदि बदलती रहती है हर जगह पर, then it's very difficult to use this formula. Okay, then we have to do this piecewise. Small piece का current calculate कीजिए and then integrate it over the whole wire or whole cross-sectional surface. So in case of non-uniform distribution, this is the answer. If things are uniform, then it is same as the previous calculation. Now, let me discuss some, I mean, it is not any problem. Think like this. It's a box. Okay. And charges are everywhere. And these charges are moving. This charge moving this side, this is moving this side, this is moving this side, that like this. So, okay. What is the current here? Can anyone define? So charges are moving, and I can give you some vector field. Let us say according to this rule they are moving. Current calculate कर सकते हैं क्या? Defining current. Sorry, I can't hear you. So defining current is not easy here. Okay. So how do we deal with any random case? ये एक जनरलाइज सिचुएशन है, मोस्ट लाइकली ऐसी प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएंगी, बट दिस इज द वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो दैट कैन एवर पॉसिबल। ये वर्स्ट केस है जो कहीं भी हो सकता है। सो हाउ डू वी डील विद सच केसेस? वन थिंग इज डेफिनेटली श्योर हियर। व्हाट इज दैट? Although they are moving, but they are not going to be created or destroyed. जितना चार्ज यहाँ पे, let us say there were 100 electrons, ये electrons 100 ही रहेंगे, कहीं भी चले जाएं. So let us try to get some idea of behavior of current in such a scenario. And what is the technique that we use? क्या करना है हमको? So charges are moving anywhere. We just take a small volume in that universe. एक छोटा सा हमने volume लिया, and we are calculating how much charge is going out through all the 6 surface of this small volume. कितना चार्ज बाहर जाएगा? So I is equal to charge passing through cross sectional area, right, of A, and this is equal to J dot ds. Means, let me zoom in this cube. इसको बड़ा करते हैं थोड़ा. How much is the current passing out from this surface? इस surface से कितना current pass हो रहा है? Calculate J dot ds on this surface. Okay, इस surface से कितना current pass हुआ? Integral J dot ds on this surface. Let me give it some name. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D से कितना करंट पास हुआ? J dot ds. Similarly, E, F, G, H. इस सरफेस से कितना करंट बाहर चला गया? कितना चार्ज बाहर चला गया? That is equal to, same here, whatever is the direction of current here, multiply it with the corresponding vector, integrate it over E, F, G, H. Same from the top side. टॉप साइड से कितना करंट बाहर गया? J dot ds CD GH. Okay. Similarly, we can calculate current going out from all the surfaces. Okay. So charge going out from this cube is how much? Integral J dot ds all 6 surface, right? Charge going out per second. Okay, because current is the charge flowing through the cross section area in 1 second. So 1 second में इस क्यूब से कितना चार्ज बाहर गया? This much. And this is equal to what? So it's a surface integral over a cube, or it's equal to, I am taking divergence of this vector field into the volume of, and this is volume integral of the same cube. Okay. So this is the charge going out per second from this cube. यदि charge density rho है, इसमें कितना charge होगा अंदर at any time? Rho is the charge density. How much is the volume? Let me write like this. rho dV is the charge in a dV volume. This is the total charge inside the volume. Okay. How much is the charge? I mean, is equal to this, right? But I can calculate same quantity in this way. Charge going out per unit time कितना होता है? Delta Q by delta T, right? What is Q? Q is the charge inside cube at any time t. And how much is Q? Q is this integral rho. Rho means charge in unit volume. इस क्यूब का वॉल्यूम कितना है? This much. Okay. So how much is the minus? Why minus? Because obviously if charge is going out, it is decreasing with time. So minus del by del t rho dV. This is equal to del dot J dV. Or I am going to take this integral inside. What we get? This. Although we took many steps, but this is quite clear from the equation itself. What is the left hand side? It's a divergence of vector J. It means, what does it tell? Flux, outgoing flux. So outgoing flux here means outgoing current through unit volume. Okay. And obviously, if current is going out from a volume, the charge will decrease with time. This is the rate of charge, rate of decrease of charge. Okay. And this is called equation of continuity. So left hand side tells you surface से कितना चार्ज बाहर चला गया. Right hand side tells you क्यूब के अंदर से कितना चार्ज कम हो गया. Obviously both are same thing and that's why they are equal. Okay. And that's why it is called equation of continuity. जितना भी टैंक में से पानी कम हुआ है उतना पानी उस सरफेस से छोड़ के बाहर गया है. So it neither charge is created nor destroyed. जितना भी चार्ज लॉस हुआ है क्यूब में से वो एक्चुअली बाहर गया है वहां से. So this is the quantity which is measured on surface. This is measured inside the volume. So is it clear? So this is the most general case of behavior of current. Let me give you one example, then it will be clear to you. Kirchhoff's law. What does it tell you? पढ़ा है किसी ने? Let us say current is I1 in this wire, in this wire it is I2, in this wire it is I3, in this wire it is I4, in this wire it is I5, in this wire it is I6, in this wire it is I7. Can you please tell me the connection between these currents?
Yes, sir.
I.
Current is equal to 0.
So all the
Net
inverse
summation
current,
0 होगा.
Summation of I.
so how many currents are incoming? I1, I2, I3 plus I7, right? And how many currents are outgoing? I4 plus I5 plus I6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why are they equal? ये सब equal क्यों है? Because whatever is the charge going at this point, जितना भी charge इस point में अंदर आ रहा है, according to Kirchhoff law, same charge has to go out. यहाँ पे कुछ भी store नहीं हो सकता. Okay? And that's why this is the incoming charge, this is the outgoing charge. Both has to be equal. Now let me give you a more complicated problem. This is a capacitor. So this is one side, this is another side. There are some electrons. Let us say there are some positive charge on this side. There is a negative charge on this side. So some current is coming in this direction, means positive charge is coming towards this direction. So there is some current I1. So let me apply Kirchhoff law at this point. इस point P पर जो कि कैपेसिटर की प्लेट से कनेक्ट हुआ है, मैं Kirchhoff law लगाना चाह रहा हूँ. How much is the incoming current? I1. Is there any outgoing current here? क्या इसके इधर से कोई करंट बाहर भी जा रहा है? और इन एनी डायरेक्शन?
Yes, sir. जाएगा. Same direction.
But where? This is air here, right? There is nothing between these two plates. कैसे जाएगा?
सर एक प्लेट से दूसरी प्लेट पे चार्ज इंड्यूस होगा एंड देन उससे फिर चार्ज का मूवमेंट होगा.
Sir, electric field.
I get it, but if you think about current, does Kirchhoff law holds here? क्या Kirchhoff law valid है यहाँ पे?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Right?
No, sir.
But what you see, whatever is the current coming into this point, उसने अब क्या किया? It is increasing charge at this point or on this plate. So I can say that I1 is proportional to del Q by del T. जैसे जैसे चार्ज आता जा रहा है, it is increasing the charge at this point. Okay. So in this case, del Q by del T is 0. Del Q by del T means 0. जितना भी चार्ज अंदर आया उतना बाहर गया. और यदि del Q by del T 0 नहीं है, तब जितना भी चार्ज अंदर आया, that will increase the current. वही यहाँ पर है. इतना चार्ज बाहर गया, it means इतना चार्ज कम हो गया. Okay? So this is the most general case. ये Kirchhoff law को भी डील कर सकता है, ये कैपेसिटर जैसे केस को भी डील कर सकता है. It is true almost everywhere. ये कभी गलत नहीं होगा. Kirchhoff law एक बार के लिए आपका फेल करेगा, like in this case, because Kirchhoff law has a constraint. Kirchhoff law ये मान के चलता है कि चार्ज कहीं पाइल अप नहीं हो रहा है. बट यदि चार्ज कहीं पाइल अप हो रहा है, चार्ज कहीं स्टोर भी हो रहा है, then like in the case of capacitor, then this is the case, right? So कितना चार्ज बाहर गया किसी पॉइंट से इक्वल टू उस पॉइंट पे कितना चार्ज कम हो गया, या कितना चार्ज अंदर आया that is equal to उस पॉइंट पे कितना चार्ज बढ़ गया. And that is why it's a very simple name, equation of continuity. यहाँ पे कुछ भी डिसकंटिन्यूअस नहीं हुआ है. चार्ज आ रहा था, वो बाहर जाने के बजाय वहीं स्टोर होने लगा. So this is equivalent to J dot ds, यहाँ पे कोई क्लोज सरफेस नहीं है अभी, and this is equivalent to dq by dt, and both has to be equal, right? That is why this equation. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
So in any case, in any complicated case or in any simple case, this is the exact and correct answer. बाकी आपने जितने भी रूल पढ़े हैं किरचॉफ या जो भी है, they are just subset of this rule. किरचॉफ लॉ का सीधा मतलब ये है कि आपने राइट हैंड साइड जीरो मान ली है, जीरो नहीं है then you will get some other things like कैपेसिटर. और जो आप कह रहे हैं कि चार्ज इंड्यूस होगा and therefore there is a current, so yes, there is a current and it is not passing through the wire, and that current has a different name. किसी को पता है ना?
डिस्प्लेसमेंट
I guess direct current.
लीकेज करंट.
Not leakage current, it is a displacement current. Okay, so if you include displacement current, then Kirchhoff law is valid. And what is displacement current? वो इसी के बराबर है, dq by dt के बराबर ही है. So either you assume that equation of continuity holds, या तो आप ये माने कि equation of continuity सही है, या आपको उसको नहीं मानना है, then you assume this concept of displacement current. दोनों हैं एक ही. Okay, so this is the main equation on the current. So we are just writing down everything in terms of equation that we know, I mean that we know in words. जो तक हमको words के तौर पर मालूम था, हमने उनको equation का form दिया है so that we can deal with the problems. So what else do we need to discuss? Current is there. This is direction of current, right? And there is one more thing that we left. This is true for स्टेडी करंट. ये फॉर्मूला वैलिड ही तभी है जब करंट्स आर स्टेडी करंट्स. नाउ व्हाट इज दिस? सो लेट मी गिव सम टाइम टू दिस आल्सो. स्टेडी करंट क्या होता है? So if there is a current, there is a magnetic field. करंट है तो एक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड भी है. Okay, but that magnetic field may be of complex nature. Vary with time. Vary with means change with time. Remains constant with time. Okay, now whether it will change with time or will it remain constant with time, that depends on the type of current. मैग्नेटिक फील्ड टाइम के साथ चेंज करेगा या नहीं करेगा, ये डिपेंड करता है कि करंट कैसा है. So if magnetic field does not change with time, that is true only for steady current. Magnetic field does not change with time. So how do you recognize whether a current is steady or not? कैसे आप पता करें कि करंट steady है या नहीं? Let us say this is a current carrying wire. Okay, and some current I is equal to, let us say, 2 ampere. It's a DC current is flowing through this wire. Is this a steady current?
Yes, sir.
So if I calculate magnetic field, let us say at this point, क्या वो टाइम के साथ चेंज होगा?
No, sir.
No, sir.
This is steady current, right? What about this case? This is electron gun. Electron gun means it emits electron. And let us say the rate of emission of electrons is some 1 electron per nanosecond. एक नैनोसेकंड में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ये एमिट कर देता है. सो इट इज लाइक एक इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर आया, उसके एक नैनोसेकंड के बाद दूसरा इलेक्ट्रॉन बाहर आया, एंड सो ऑन. सो द इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर ट्रेवलिंग इन द मीडियम, राइट? हाउ मच इज द करंट? करंट कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं इस केस के लिए?
Anybody
9 ampere. 10 to the power 9.
If you calculate current, that current is a constant, right? करंट तो टाइम के साथ चेंज नहीं हो रहा है. Now I want to calculate magnetic field at this point P. क्या ये फील्ड कांस्टेंट होगा?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, क्योंकि steady current है.
Now think about it very carefully. So let me make some cases. So with red color, I am plotting position of electrons. Let us say this was the position of electron at some time t. Okay. And this is the point where I want to calculate the field. Any general point? Maybe here. Okay. After a small time, what is the new position of electrons? Let us say this. आधे नैनो सेकंड्स के बाद इलेक्ट्रॉन्स की पोजीशन ये होगी. So when electrons were at the red position, let me say time was t1. When electrons are at blue position, जब इलेक्ट्रॉन्स रेड पोजीशन में है, टाइम वाज t1. और जब इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ब्लू पोजीशन में है, टाइम इज t2. क्या दोनों ही केस में यहाँ पे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड सेम होगा एट दिस पॉइंट P?
No, sir.
Right? So this is a very strange case. If you try to calculate current, it is a constant. But if you see magnetic field, that is not constant. So magnetic field is like this. यदि आप magnetic field को देखना ही चाहते हैं टाइम के साथ at this point P, ये चेंज हुआ कुछ बड़ा, फिर लौट के अपनी जगह पे आएगा, फिर बढ़ेगा, फिर चेंज होके आ जाएगा. And this time interval may be of the order of 1 nanosecond. हर एक नैनोसेकंड के बाद फील्ड वापस अपनी पुरानी जगह पर आ रहा है, but it is fluctuating within that much time, right? So current is constant, but magnetic field is not constant. So like a current due to electron gun, that is a non-steady current. ये steady current नहीं है. Okay. It is, I mean, it is almost close to steady current. यदि आप इन fluctuations को ignore कर सकते हैं, आप ये मानते हैं कि fluctuation बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं है, then it is just an approximation. But in a precise sense, this is not an steady current. ये कोई steady current नहीं है बिल्कुल भी. Okay. but current constant आएगा. If you calculate current, that is constant. So this is the difference between steady and non-steady current. In almost all cases, we have steady current. And let me deal with this another case. This is a wire, and current is this. Obviously, now field will change with time. If I calculate field at this point P, if current is changing with time, field will also change with time. Okay. So in exact sense, you cannot apply Biot-Savart law for this current also. So steady currents have only this phenomena. All right. Any doubt here?
सर
Yes.
जो आपने ऊपर ही यहाँ सॉरी ये बार एक्सप्लेन कर दीजिए दोबारा जो आपने बताया कि मैग्नेटिक फील्ड वैरी कर रही है. यस सर.
So at t is equal to t1, this is the position, right? What is current at this point? यहाँ पे current कितना है? It is some non-zero answer, right? How much is the current here? यहाँ पे current कितना है? बता सकते हैं? Let us say I start my clock t is equal to 0. Okay. और मैंने t is equal to 0.5 नैनोसेकंड्स पर क्लॉक बंद कर दिया हमने और 0.4 नैनोसेकंड पे क्या इतने ड्यूरेशन के बीच में यहाँ से कोई चार्ज पास हुआ इस जगह से?
नो सर.
No. How much is the charge? How much is the flow of charge at this point? 0. Time कितना है? 0.4 नैनोसेकंड. How much is the current? 0. So यहाँ तो करंट है, यहाँ 0 है, यहाँ पे करंट है, यहाँ 0 है. ओके. हाँ, थोड़ी देर के बाद I mean after 0.5 नैनोसेकंड ये चार्ज यहाँ आ चुका होगा. नाउ यहाँ पे करंट 0 है, यहाँ पे नॉन जीरो है, यहाँ पे 0 है, यहाँ पे नॉन जीरो है, एंड सो ऑन. So you can see it is not a DC current. Fluctuations बहुत स्मॉल हैं, but current exactly constant नहीं है. और जो आपने कैलकुलेट किया है करंट I is equal to flow of charge divided by the time, that is the average current. वो इन सभी फ्लक्चुएशंस का एवरेज है, वो एग्जैक्ट करंट नहीं कैलकुलेट किया है आपने. ओके. सो एट ईच पॉइंट आप किसी भी पॉइंट पे देखें, करंट रिमेन्स 0 फॉर सम टाइम, देन इट गेट ए स्पाइक, जैसे इलेक्ट्रॉन में पहुंचता है, फिर 0 हो जाता है, फिर 0 रहता है 1 नैनोसेकंड तक, देन अगेन इट गेट ए स्पाइक, फिर 0 हो जाता है, एंड सो ऑन. आपने क्या कैलकुलेट किया है? इसका और इसका एवरेज. ओके. सिंस वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड एवरेज क्वांटिटी, आपको एवरेज फील्ड भी मिल जाएगा. फील्ड क्या मिलेगा आपको? इनका एवरेज जो भी आएगा. बट इन प्रिसाइज सेंस जो करंट इस तरीके से फ्लो हो रहा है वो कांस्टेंट करंट है ही नहीं, दैट इज चेंजिंग विद टाइम. वायर के साथ वो केस नहीं है. आप किसी भी टाइम पर, किसी भी पॉइंट पर, कितनी भी टाइम के लिए चार्ज चेक कीजिए, चार्ज फ्लो होगा. t is equal to 0 पर t is equal to 0.00000001 नैनोसेकंड्स. आप कितना भी छोटा इंटरवल ले लीजिए, some charge will definitely flow out in this much time. आप कैलकुलेट कीजिए उस चार्ज को, डिवाइड कीजिए डेल्टा t से, you will get the same current. Okay.
ओके सर.
So when you have a case like this, एक सर्कुलर लूप में इलेक्ट्रॉन मूव कर रहा है, in precise sense this is not an steady current, या steady current नहीं है, but yes for approximations only हम इसको करंट मानते हैं, मैग्नेटिक फील्ड भी निकालते हैं, वो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड सही भी नहीं होता है, बट एरर इज ऑफ द ऑर्डर ऑफ लेस देन 1%. जो एरर है वो 1% या उससे भी कहीं कम होती है. सो वी यूजली इग्नोर दैट एरर, उसको हम इग्नोर करते हैं, बट इन ट्रू सेंस सही तरीका नहीं है. ओके, so this is the difference between steady current and non-steady current. Give it some time, or you please read about it from the Griffiths book. It is section 5.2 in my book. It might change in your book, but it has to be there. Okay, so let me stop here, give it some time. Or
Sir,
yeah. Yes,
sir, if we define or take the fluctuations this much precisely, then can we define exactly, or is there any case showing steady current, sir?
sorry, ask again.
Sir, here you are taking the fluctuations very much precisely, sir.
Right,
Current is fluctuating.
right,
So you are saying that this is non-steady current.
right. In exact sense, it is not a steady current.
Yes, sir, in exact sense. So is there any example available showing precise steady current, or no such current exists except for the case that charge is at rest?
So one example of such case is this. I mean, electron moving in a loop. Here, electron is moving in a loop, okay, and it's moving at a very high speed. How much is the current? You can calculate, but in exact sense, this is not an steady current. ये steady current नहीं है. Okay.
Sir, that means no steady current exists, sir. We're looking precisely. I mean, everything is fluctuating, sir.
No, but like if you have a continuous arrangement of electrons, let us say a wire. So a wire actually means there is a continuous arrangement of electrons in the wire. If you choose a small portion of this wire, there will be some charge in this small piece. Unlike here, what is happening here? If you take this much length, there is no charge here. That is not true for wire. If there is a current loop, obviously there is a wire everywhere at each and every point, and therefore in a wire you will get a steady current. Right?
Yes, sir. Right, sir.
I mean, in case of wire, can you have a scenario like this? Let us say this is a current carrying wire. Let me focus here. This is time t is equal to 0, and after t is equal to 0.0001 nanosecond, how much is the charge flowing out through this surface? इतने इंटरवल में कितना चार्ज यहाँ से बाहर गया इस सरफेस से? Can it be a zero?
Non-zero.
It has
Some
to
charge will flow, sir.
Some charge will pass, right? So obviously delta q by delta t is not zero here. It has to be some number, and that number will remain same whether delta is this much small or delta t is 1 nanosecond or whatever is the delta t. This delta q by delta t will remain constant for all scenario. So this is a perfectly constant current. It remains constant all the time. So a current carrying loop is a perfect example of a steady current, and a current produced by an electron gun, that is not a good example of steady current. That is a non-steady current. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So with this, let me stop here, and Give it some time, don't worry. These things are new, that's why you are somewhat uncomfortable with it. And please read the books. It will hardly take 10 to 15 minutes only.
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, in the graph which you showed, there you saw that there you show that the B will be constant. B will be same after 1 nanosecond.
You mean this, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, but the that second one more electron will also come now from the electron gun.
Actually,
See what I'm saying, that at t is equal to 0, electron gun emit one electron, right? At t is equal to 1, so this is t is equal to 0 case. At t is equal to 1 nanosecond, electron gun will again fire one more electron. Let us say that electron is this, and this electron will reach, let us say, here. Obviously it is having some velocity, and that velocity is not going to decrease in vacuum. At t is equal to 2 nanosecond, what will happen? Electron
excuse
will
me, sir.
produce one more
Sir.
electron. This will reach here. Let me just type like this. Okay. So you will get a chain of electrons at each nanosecond, right? So after, let us say, 50 nanoseconds, you will be having something like this. And 51 nanosecond, same scenario. This is 51 nanosecond. But 50.5 nanosecond means what? Electron gun did not produce any new electron, and they are still moving. So this is 50.5, right? Electron can produce electron and give them some velocity as well. Electron gun means a source of energetic electrons. So electrons are emitting with some velocity. Yes, what is your doubt?
Sir, I was asking like the very next second, like at the 16th second, one more electron will come, and then that will also add to the magnetic field. So at 15th second and at the 16th second, magnetic field will not be same now, so it will change.
Okay, right. Okay.
Sir, can rest of us leave? We have another class.
All right. So yes, I agree with your point. And okay, so since class is going to end, I'll answer it in the next class. I get your point.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Attendance is.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you can leave now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And